Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I'm going to be sharing with you the vlogs of me reading all of my Fairyloot adult books. I've previously done this with the YA books if you want to check that out, but I want to get through the adult ones because they're all that I have left from Fairyloot and I want to go through them because I want to know if I'm going to be keeping the books or not, okay? That's the main reason. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing and don't forget to follow me on social media. Now, getting into the books, we're going to be reading about 4 or 5 books, and the first one is Graceless Heart. Okay, I started last night, technically, but I'm going to be honest, I didn't even finish the first chapter. I was just falling asleep, so I'm going to truly start it today, okay? This is how the Fairyloot edition looks, okay? It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and the papers on the inside also gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful book. I don't like the sprayed edge that much, I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, let's get into the vlogs. I hope y'all enjoy and have some fun, and yeah. Hey there y'all, long time no see. I wanted to update you on the situation about this book. Okay, I've been reading it on my Kobo. I'm at chapter 35, 78% of the book. I'm finishing it today. I'm literally going to eat something now and I'm going to lay in bed and finish this. I will not get out of bed until I finish it, okay? It feels yucky to call it a romancy nowadays because I feel like there's such a negative thing with romancy lately. But it is definitely a fantasy with romance where the relationship between the main characters is kind of a focal point. So basically the story follows this girl and she's a sculptress and she helps out in her parents' inn. Like she's basically managing the entire inn. And her brother gets captured and she's trying to release him. And she participates in this like competition to find the best sculptor in her town. And then she like gets a boon from like the Looney family, which is this very important family in Florence. She's not from Florence, she's from another town. So she goes and she participates in this and she uses a magical stone in her statue, which basically outs her as a witch because she's been in hiding all her life. No one else in her family is a witch and she's been in hiding all her life. So the family likes her sculpture, and they take her in. Like immediately they kidnap her. Like she wasn't aware she was gonna have to leave. Like they kidnap her, take her to Florence into their little palace thing. And they're like, yeah, so you're gonna work for us and you're going to carve out these stones and find the magical stone that's within these stones. And it's really hard to get these magical stones out, mind you, very hard. But she has the only magic that is able to get these stones out. And so she's basically like working towards that, right? And trying to maneuver that, but also the Pope gets in touch with her and kind of recruits her as like a spy for him, basically threatens her. So she's stuck in between two swords basically. And then we have our MMC. He's the one that's supposed to take care of her, and he's an assassin for the family or whatever. He's a family member, but he's the assassin. They're kind of enemies, but they're starting to fall for each other. But he hates humans, just in general. He hates humans, and he hasn't told us yet why he hates them, but he does. And she's like, I hate him, but he's so sexy, you know, that type of thing. But like there's a little bit of yearning as well. It's not the typical enemies to lovers if you like that extreme enemies, but they definitely started off as enemies and very much reluctantly falling in love with each other. And there's a lot of like little moments that I really like. Like I really am enjoying this. I'm enjoying how it's written. I'm enjoying the Italian aspect of it. And just the era in which this is happening. I find all of it very interesting. You also have multiple POVs. Like you have our main POV is our girl, right? But then occasionally you'll get the male's interest, you'll get the Pope's POV, you'll get another spy's POV. Like you'll get different POVs here and there just sprinkled about, so you get a bit more of a bigger picture of what's going on behind the scenes, and it's very interesting. I really am enjoying it. I'm really liking it. It's a solid 4 for sure. I don't know if it'll go up to 4.5 or not. I don't think it's a 5 because for me a 5 is like, it has to really suck me in. But it is definitely at least a 4. I want to see how it's going to end, and I'm also suspecting it's not a standalone. Just the way the story is going, just the information that we're so lacking, we're definitely gonna have another book. I think we'll have to see. This guy is having so much fun. He's just inspecting the street, making sure we're secure, making sure no one's going to attack us on the second floor. You know, important things. I'm about to do something stupid. I just got the biggest spoiler just by looking at the chapters. Fuck. Oh, this is definitely gonna have a second book. Oh. Are you lying to me? Yes. I finished the book. It's completely done after a couple of hours of reading and a small, tiny little nap. I don't know how in between. I finished it. It's done, and I really, really liked it. I rated it 4 stars for now, and I'm still going to be thinking about that rating. Okay, it's one of those where I can't really quite pinpoint a rating. 4 stars feels fine, but I don't know if it feels accurate. That's also because I'm not sure how I feel about this after the ending. Let me explain. So the ending itself, I knew there was going to be a twist. I didn't expect that twist, and I kind of anticipated who the witch was. Okay, I kind of already saw it coming. Also, at the end of this, there's like this like acknowledgements page. Like, I don't know, like this like final section where the author kind of explains the history behind everything, and every single character is important to the history, even her brother, which I find absolutely stupid interesting, and it just made me love this even more. Like the research and the mix between real life events and her little story just make everything even more perfect. I really, really, really enjoyed this book. I also feel like in the end, they didn't actually do much. Like, our main characters who were fighting so hard weren't the actual ones to get things done, right? And there's a few characters that I'm still curious about. But from what I saw online when I went to like log the book as read on my tracking app, this is number 1 of a series, which, come on, we kind of saw that coming. But by the end of this book, I thought, maybe it is a standalone because the story is kind of wrapping up pretty nicely, but it wasn't. I will also say the MMC had this, like, there was this history that something happened to him and he changed and he saw the cruelty in men. And I honestly, like, the way it was described was that, like, he disappeared for a while and then he came back. So I thought he was, like, gone for, like, a year or maybe, like, I don't know, a few months, something like that. Like, I didn't think it was something quick. He was gone for a total of 24 hours. So here's the thing he went through is traumatic. I get that. I get why that would make him change his opinion on humans and everything. But like, this was in the beginning years of him being immortal. So he's been alive for like about 100 years. You would think, right? You would think that he would have had enough time to like let it die down, but it didn't. Or to process his trauma. He didn't. But also like the way it was described by others was that it was like this really prolonged absence, like this really long thing. And it was just something that happened for like a night, that then for like, a day, basically. And not to diminish his trauma. He was traumatic, but I'm just trying to say that, but like the description, the idea, the other characters give you is that it's longer, and then you're like, oh, so it's underwhelming just because your expectations were set incorrectly. That also made me kind of be like, okay, I don't love this part. When it comes to this actual physical copy now, let's get down to business. This one, I don't know if I'm going to keep it because I'm going to be very honest with you, right? I like this cover a lot, even though I do like the original cover a lot. And I like the inside of it so much. It's gorgeous. Like the inside pages, I also really love. Like I really do. But this is egregious. This is egregious. And so is this, babes. This kind of ruins the whole experience for me. I'm very much a pattern girl and I'm very much a symmetry girl, but like not to this extreme. And also like, I don't know, it just feels skewed to me. The pattern, I don't know. I don't like it. I just really don't like this edge. I don't like the edge. The rest of the book is beautiful, but why does the edge have to be this way? So the edge is what's killing me. So I'm very torn about this book, because I genuinely like the art inside of it, and I think it's a beautiful addition, and I genuinely like it, but this is egregious. I'm gonna think about this, maybe update you throughout the vlog. We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming for a really cool unboxing of the adult Fairyloot book. My last box, okay? This is my last box that I'm ever gonna get from Fairyloot, at least for the time being, and we're going to be unboxing the adult book for this video. I also have the YA book, so if you want to see the unboxing for that, it is on the YA Fairyloot vlog, so you can check that out as well. But let's get into the adult one. This is the little card we get. The theme is Forbidden Bargains, and this is the fucking book, okay? Look at that. Look at the details, the glassiness of the windows, the gold foiling. Girl. And then this is the spine, okay, because it goes kind of wrapped around. And like this. I love the cross-stitching look of it. Just a penmanship in the art of this. And then like, I love how they play with what is foiled and what is glossy, just to make it various like textures. I really like the look of this. One of my favorite edges so far. Like, I really like them. I don't know, I know they're very simple, but I love the top. Look at the top. The top looks so cute. This is very cute. Okay, imagine this is a tattoo. Like, this as a tattoo. Love it. Okay, absolutely gorgeous. I forgot to read the blurb, so let me just take a look at the blurb, okay? Gifted with the ability to see the dead, a young woman is drawn into a deadly pact and a journey to a cursed estate where ghosts linger, secrets fester, and danger waits in every shadow. This actually sounds really cool, like a haunted mansion kind of thing. Okay, I like the haunted mansion just looks really cool in the cover. Okay, I'm going to check the dust jacket. Okay, first, this is it. I think it's rather simplistic, to be fair. It's very like graphic-y, and it looks cool, but I think it's very simplistic compared to the beauty that is this. This could be like, this, you could literally just frame this. This could be a painting on in of itself. So really like that. Fuck, the naked cover. It's very velvety in feeling. Gals and guys, what is this? Look at them. Girl, if this isn't good, if this doesn't, because just based on the art, the expectations are high. I'm going to tell you right now, the expectations are high. Look at that. That is beautiful. This is the naked cover. Also gorgeous. Like, having this as an actual spine in your shelves, beautiful. And then this is the back. I do think the back is rather simplistic, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, the inside is also black and white. There's a whole theme in this, okay? It's like this with the gold foiling. I think it's beautiful. Like, it's definitely interesting. I do think I've seen like more detailed scenes, and I do think like the gold detailing is very interesting, but I also think it's a little bit overdone, okay? Like, I like it, but it's a little bit overdone. The back one, ooh, this is cute. Okay, this one has a lot more detail. Like, I find like this one is a bit more interesting, like a more interesting scene to depict. Like the windows in the back, like their masks, like the detail as well, like the gold foiling, the leaves, everything is very, very cool. And I think like they play really well with values in terms of like the grays, the lighter values and the darker values and the shadows. Like, you can still see depth even in the darker parts. And after printing, which is really impressive, because you can make a really, really nice detailed digital painting with really nice value contrast and everything, but once you print it, it can come looking really, really bad. Like, printing is a whole other science. So I'm really impressed by it. The inside letter also has the little book pages. I love it so much. It's a digital signature, not a like actual one, but I really like this. I'm so excited to read this one. I'm gonna be honest, I'm super excited to read this one. Hey there, y'all. Long time no see, at least for me, not for you, but for me. Okay, I'm going to be starting another adult Fairyloot book, and it is Weavingshaw. Okay, y'all know that I have been obsessed over this book from the moment I opened it and I saw it in my Fairyloot box. Look at it. It is so grungy. It is so dark and gloomy, and I'm dying to get into this. From the moment I laid eyes on it, I've been dying to get into it. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, tonight. It is late at night, the perfect time to read a new book and to start a new book, and I'm going to be diving into this one, okay? So let me redo the blurb that we have, okay? Nothing this lovely could be cursed. The Saint of Silence trains coins for every sordid divulgence uttered to him. The darker the secret, the higher the price. Lena has a secret, one that has haunted her since she was 17. She can see the dead. When her brother falls ill, she knows what she must do. Seek the Saint. But Lena's secret is more valuable to the Saint than she could have imagined. To save her brother, she must make a deal with him to find the ghost he's searching for. All paths lead to Weavingshaw, a cursed estate on the moors. As Lena grows closer to St. Silas and she is plunged further into his world of danger, deceit, and desire, she learns that he is hiding his own secrets, ones that have the power to destroy them all. So yeah, that's it. We're going to go into this. This is our next book, and I'm super excited. Like, super excited. This book is so creaky, it's fucking me up so bad. Like, what the fuck? Why are you so bendy? They're not typically this bendy and it's fucking me up a lot. Off we go into Weavingshaw. So last night, right here in the book, last night, she was like attacked during her dream, and then she wakes up and her boss, Silas, is arguing with the housekeeper in front of her door. So she goes up, floorboards creak, obviously, and she's like, okay, I gotta open the door. So she opens the door and she's like, what the fuck is going on? And this man just looks down at her. And he then looks up, very flustered, because she was wearing this like sleeping gown that is basically transparent and you can see everything. So she hides behind the door and he's like, I'm sorry, whatever. It's so funny because now we're the next day, right? And he's so flustered and like she's looking for her brother that's missing. And he's like, where are you going at this time of night? To the gangbanger's place? To search for who? What do you mean? And he's like, nope, I will go with you. It's to protect my assets, of course. And mind you, they've been fully enemies up until this point. 100% enemies. He's now starting to like be a bit more protective of her. Like she threatened him with a gun, basically. And I think that's when it turned for him. And he's just not like, oh, like not punishing her for misbehaving or whatever as usual. He's like, well, the scent of lavender bothers me, which is what she puts in her hair, and it's distracting, and she distracts him. It's slowly starting to trickle in. I love these little tiny little moments. I love them so much. Don't mind the cat, he is literally on top of me. So now he's gonna go with her to search for her brother, and I'm just like, okay. And honestly, this book is turning out to be a lot more than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought like she could see ghosts and she was gonna, you know, uncover some secret society or whatever with finding out where the ghost was and like a magical house and whatever. And maybe that's still the case, right? But there's literal demons in this thing, right? In the demon world, and demons in the demon world wanting to come into the real world, into the human world. There's this whole thing going on, which is making it even more interesting, and I'm finding it very, very cool. Very, very, very cool. It's mainly centered around the characters right now. I'm at 35%, and it's mainly the characters and how the life works and how like what his work looks like and how her powers are affected into it, and she's investigating it. It's a day-to-day life. And I do understand how for some people this might be a little bit slow. I particularly like it. I am enjoying it. I like the pacing. I like it. But I do understand how some people might want it to be a little bit quicker. I'm really enjoying it so far. And I just wanted to share that little tidbit with you guys. And update you. Girl, if you are unwilling to come into my bed, Miss Allsayer, then I strongly suggest you go to yours. The way he has been propositioning her, ma'am, yes, ma'am. If you won't go, I will. So he's basically smoking, and because it was a really rough night, and he was smoking, and he's like, I didn't think he would partake in that kind of distraction. And he goes, okay, I tend to look for my distractions elsewhere. And then she gets all flustered, and he goes, after all the time you've spent in my company, I am surprised that such trivial comments still send you blushing, Miss Allsayer. Should you see the actions that inspire such words, I believe you would perish. Stop. Okay, stop. So she keeps going and asks him, like, are you okay, or whatever. And he goes, depends. Are you willing to make me feel better? I'm sorry. I am sorry? What do you mean? That's when he pulls the, if you're unwilling to come into my bed, please go to yours. I haven't read anymore because, like, I had to, like, this deserves its own moment. His gaze snaked down the entire length of her, the cigarette all but forgotten in his fingers. I can't. Bruh. What the fuck? So, She goes, because you almost never give in to sweetness. And this man, oh, Miss Alsire, I would love to give in to sweetness. Oh, stop. There would be no sleep for her anymore, not tonight. Yeah, bitch, I get it. I honestly do get it. This man goes, you should be wary of how you are looking at me. She goes, how am I looking at you? He goes, like you no longer loathe me. Fuck. I love this tension so much. I love it so much. Like these small little, ah! My heart is beating. I love it. Oh my god. Okay, y'all, so I'm on my lunch break. Let's go to a little bit of an reading update of the Weavingshaw book. Okay, I have actually finished the book. Finished it, it is done. And when I tell you, I consumed this book. I read 80% in one day. Yeah, 80% in one day, one singular day. Okay, that's how. The only reason I didn't stay up to read the rest was because I was literally falling asleep as I was reading because I was so tired. This book was so good. This was an instant 5 stars. Like, I didn't even have to think twice. This was an instant 5 stars. I just loved every part of it. I love our little grungy, evil MMC. I love our FMC. She's very like strong and strong-willed and just very smart and intelligent as well. So in this book, our FMC has the powers to see the dead, okay? She can kind of sort of communicate with them, not really talk to them or hear them, but she can see them and they can like, you know, see each other, basically. And so her brother is sick and she goes to our MMC and says, hey dude, you grant wishes in exchange for secrets. This is my secret, I have this power. Please treat my brother. So he treats her and her brother because she was almost dying as well. And she has to go and work for him. He tricks her into working for him. And basically she's just seeing other people's ghosts. And whenever there's a ghost, she gives that information to him so he can leverage it when he is exchanging secrets. Because he's working as like the Saint of Secrets, where he collects a lot of secrets and then he gives it to his demon overlord, which he doesn't know, by the way. This is a spoiler, but... And so she's going to try and help him find this one specific ghost, right? And this ghost is the owner of Weavingshaw, the mansion that we have here. And the story is like, you only realize how important Weavingshaw is, like over 50% of the book. She's also trying to piece everything together because her father is also in danger. So that's basically like the premise of it, right? Obviously there's a lot more into it. They are very, very slow burning. They are falling in love with each other, but they're rejecting it. It is very slow burn, okay? They only kissed. Okay? I'm loving it. The tension, the looks, the yearning. I'm loving it, okay? The story itself is also very interesting. The magical powers, like the mystery behind it. You know, figuring out how the demons play into it, how the owner of Weavingshaw died, and like who killed him, what was the mechanics there, because they were kind of like, they had like this slavery selling ring thing. And so like understanding how that came to be, how that worked, and how that ended up resulting in that man dying, right? And how that affects our characters, putting those pieces together. Also, there's multiple different parties kind of working in tandem. There's this like secret vessel that they're trying to find. There's all of this thing. I really loved it. I loved the entirety of the story. I honestly have no qualms with this book. I enjoyed it so much, and I've been struggling so bad to actually want to read, and I had to hold myself back the entire workday to read it, okay? If I knew, I would have read this on the weekend and just read the entire day. Just picked this up and only stopped when I finished it. Honest to God, I cannot wait for the second one. I'm pissed that there's a second one, mind you, because I'm a little bit tired of receiving books that are like the first of a future series and now I have to wait God knows how long to read them. No, I want either a standalone or a finished series. Fuck this. So tired of that. But I love the book. I cannot wait for the next one. I am honestly very excited for the next one. The only thing I will say, it's the only thing, it's not for me, but it's for you, possibly. The pacing of this on the first half of the book is rather slow. I didn't mind it at all. I liked the way it was going. I liked the way the story was flowing. But I understand how it can not be as great for other people. okay? It was slightly slow, but I think it was like setting up and her figuring things out and all of those things. I will say also, like, I do find her to be very smart, but at the same time, she's not the brightest cookie in the box. Does that make sense? I know it contradicts a little bit, but like, she is very smart and she can put things together, but then there's things that are obviously related, right? Like, you can infer that A plus B equals C, and she can't really figure it out, and it's very obvious. I will say there is that. I'm finding faults in this, but I still enjoyed it. It's still 5 stars for me. But those are the only two things where I'm like, okay, I think I'm keeping this edition as well. I kind of knew I was gonna keep it, but like, the fact that I love this book, then this is a 5 stars, and I love the edition itself. I'm keeping this book. That's what I'll say about this. Okay, that's my update. Hope y'all enjoy it. Yeah. Hey, y'all, wanted to check in because I'm about to start Alchemy of Secrets. Well, that is the only book I actually don't have with me here in Poland. It's back home in Portugal, so I am going to be reading it on my Kobo. Okay, so here is the blurb so you have a little bit of context, okay? Folklore 517, local legends and urban myths taught by a woman called the Professor. Most students believe the Professor's stories are just fiction, but Holland St. James has always been convinced that magic is real. When she tracks down a local legend named the Watchman, who can supposedly tell you when you'll die, the world finally makes sense, except that the Watchman tells her she will die at midnight tomorrow, unless she finds an ancient object called the Alchemical Heart. With the clock ticking, Holland is pulled deeper into this magical world in the heart of Los Angeles and into the path of a magnetic stranger. Everything about him feels like a bad idea, but he promises Holland that her sister sent him to protect her, and they chase clues and stories that take them closer to the alchemical heart. Holland realizes everyone in this intoxicating new world is lying to her, even the stranger, and if she can't figure out whom to trust, not even the alchemical heart will save her. Okay, I was already excited to start reading it, but now I'm just I need to read this. So I'm starting it. Let's see how it goes. Hey y'all, it's been quite a bit of time since we last spoke, and I wanted to give you an update. So I am, like I showed you, reading Alchemy of Secrets, and I'm at around like 50% or so, something around those lines. And this motherfucking book is such a surprise to me. I'm so pleasantly surprised. I had heard it was good, and I do like the author, but like, I wasn't expecting it to be this good. So we followed this girl. She's really into the occult. She's into these stories of the occult in LA and all of these like things of magic and related to magic, and she's dying to prove that magic exists and magic is real and everything. She has a twin sister, but her twin sister works abroad. She works in antiquities, things like that, and she is more of a like, yeah, I like these myths and all of this lore around magic and stuff, and trying to prove magic exists. And she goes into this one place, and she finds the guy that tells them the exact day they're going to die. She gives it a try. Lo and behold, it's actually him, and he tells her, yeah, you have like little over 24 hours to figure shit out and to find this one thing that is the only thing that will prolong your life. That's the only thing that might save you. Otherwise, you are dying. She then goes into this whole adventure with this other dude, and they're trying to find this thing that she needs to save her life. And there's a lot here. Like, there's so much. And I have so many theories right now. Like, he is related to her somehow. But then there's this other dude that's dating her sister. This dude is suspicious because he talks to her like he knows her. He's very possessive of her. And you can tell there's history there. I don't know if he's her ex, if he is her husband, and she completely forgot about him. Her memories were erased. Her sister is also really... she's a bitch. I don't like the sister, and I haven't met the sister yet, but the sister has been hiding a lot of secrets from her. Turns out she's in this magical world. She knows it exists. She knows everything about it. She's been hiding a go back. It's almost as if she knew this was going to happen to her sister, and she's been prepping everything for this day. You know what I mean? It's really fucking odd. And he, I think, is related to her somehow. They're in a relationship, or they are exes, something around those lines. And the other dude that showed up, that is technically her sister's boyfriend, she's having flashbacks of this dude in very intimate moments. So either she's living what her sister was living, or he's her ex, or he's her current person, and the first dude is the ex. There's a whole lot of BS here that is going on, and it's mind-boggling. I have so many questions, and I'm so intrigued, and I want to read so much, and I'm sucked into it. And it took me a few days to get into it because I was reading other stuff and I was busy. But last night, I could not put this down last night. It was a struggle to put it down, okay? And today my brain is mush. I am tired, I'm exhausted. I'm going to lay in bed. I'm going to finish this book because I will not stop until I finish it. I need to know what happens. I need to know the truth. I need to know what's going on. I need to know it all. I need to. It's a need. It's not even a want. I just have just so many questions, and I have so many theories in my head. I'm really enjoying it. I fucking clocked it, dudes. Fucking clocked it. So they are discussing this new friend of hers, like the first dude I mentioned earlier. So the one that isn't her sister's boyfriend, the other one. And this person is saying, like, I dread what might happen if the alchemical heart, which is what they're searching for, were to fall into Gabriel's hands. And I hate the idea of him using you and then killing you just like he did with his wife. And hear me out. She is the wife. She didn't die. Her death was faked. And they're keeping her safe. Him and her sister are keeping her safe, and that's why they're lying to her, and that's why I suspect, like, she's his, like, the familiarity, everything is very similar, and they were probably protecting her from these people specifically. So something happened in the past, you know what I mean? He married a woman from a family with a lot of magic. Her parents had a lot of magic. And then the day after the wedding, he murdered her. Because it makes sense. I think her sister has magic. I think she also has it because she can detect magic. But she doesn't use magic or whatever. But her family had magic, or at least was into the occult and stuff. She literally just told them where to find this man because she doesn't trust him anymore after all of these revelations. But, like, girl, you did not need to rat him out. Also, like, he was her scapegoat. Like, he was her ticket out of there. Now she has no escape plan. Okay, y'all. I finished the book, okay? And I honestly don't even know how to feel about this book. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't know how I feel. It's a 4 stars. I know that for sure. The reason why it's not a 5 stars, there's quite a few reasons. First of all, I don't know why I'm starting with the negative, but I am. She was very trustworthy of anyone and everyone. You know, she would trust this guy and he would say it's safe, and then the other dude, the unsafe one, would say no, you can't trust him, he's not safe. So then she would go to him, and then the first guy would say no, he's not safe, and then she would go back to him. It's like, girl, decide who you're trusting. She just switches allegiances like normal people drink water. It's so many times, it's ridiculous. So the guy I thought was her husband or whatever, still don't know the truth. The second guy, absolute asshole, basically killed her and is the one responsible for killing her. We don't know what happened to the guy I thought was her husband. It's just not told to us at this moment. And this book is definitely having a second book, okay? But I think the second book is going to follow the other sister, which, knowing the author, a very high probability that's going to happen. And I feel like when we know the sister's POV, we'll have a bit more context. And I think on second book we might find out what the case is with the other dude, but I am betting my money that he is the husband, okay? He is her husband and she just doesn't remember. The whole plot twist is that she's basically stuck in a time loop, and she relives the same day, same like 24-ish hours over and over and over again, and she dies every time at the end of it, killed by guy 2, right? Evil guy. She apparently died, and someone reset time to give her a chance to survive, but she had to figure it out on her own. And so she was basically going back in time multiple times until she finally relived. And she's been over it like a bunch of times, so many times. And I think that was her sister. I still don't understand how we've gotten to this point where her sister is involved in this thing for so long, and magic and has powers and everything for so long, yet she didn't know, she had no idea. Make it make sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I don't know. Overall, I liked it a lot. It sucked me in. The mystery, the plot twist, the constant wondering what's gonna happen next sucked me in. The main character being all wishy-washy with her allegiances and not being very practical and intelligent, that fucked me up a little bit. She's very smart when it comes to like finding clues and figuring out her dad's puzzles, all of that, but the fact that she like couldn't just you know, decide. Like, she just kept flopping back and forth between allegiances, who she trusts, who she doesn't, who she betrays. Like, she's just, girl, make a plan, stick to the plan, and then just, you know, granted the fact that she jumped around did save her life, but still, like, it was very annoying. Yeah, Alchemy of Secrets is done. I'll see you when I start the next book. Okay, guys, so today is actually a very beautiful day outside. It is very sunny. Yeah, very sunny, but it's also very windy, and it's very uncomfortable to be outside. And I wanted to go outside, but plans change. So I figured, why not tackle another one of our Fairyloot books? Since I don't feel like starting a series right now, I just figured, well, Fairyloot books, I only have 2 left from this whole vlog, so let's tackle the next one. Okay, so these are my 2 options. I have Dawn of the Firebird, and I have Fallen City. Which one? Come on, choose. I really want to read this one, but I think I'm going to do this one, because this one, at least I can get through it really fast. Perfect. We're reading Fallen City. Let's read the blurb for it. Okay. In the great walled city of Izada, political turmoil ignites a rebellion 100 years in the making. But when a legionnaire falls in love with the magistrate's daughter, their love will threaten the fate of the city and the will of the gods. Luca Matthias has one purpose: to carry on the family name, maintaining its presence in the forum once his powerful and cruel uncle dies. But his noviceship with the city's philosopher places him in the middle of a catastrophe that will alter the destiny of his people. Mary's Casperia was raised amidst the strategic maneuvers of the Citadel's inner workings, and she knows what her future holds: a lifetime of service to a corrupt city. But her years of serving as a novice to the last priestess who possesses the stolen magic of the old war has made her envision a different kind of future for the city. When she meets Luca, a fated chain of events is set into motion that will divinely entangle their lives. These fucking phrases don't have a single comma, mind you. I'm trying to give them some, yeah, and they have no commas. Like, okay. As a secret comes to light and throws the city into chaos, Luca and Maris hatch a plot to create a calculated alliance that could tip the scales of power. But when an execution forces Luca to become the symbol of rebellion, he and Maris are thrown onto opposing sides of a holy war. As their fates diverge, they learn they are at the center of a story the gods are writing, and even if they can find their way back to each other, there may be nothing left. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want to read this. I'm so sorry. I just wasted our goddamn time, and I don't want to read this. I don't like, but I feel like, I really don't feel like reading this. It's just another romantasy. I don't want to read another romantasy. I'm so sorry. I know I have free will and all of that, but I don't want to read a big book. I want to, like, one and done, And I feel like this is going to be a one and done, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay down in bed, okay? Freshly made bed, freshly clean house. I just spend the morning cleaning, and now I'm just going to lay down and read. So yeah, I'll keep you posted, but this is the next one. Like, I can't make myself read. I can't. I don't know why, but like, I've been at this for hours. It's literally middle of the night. I don't even know. It's 9:30, okay? Like, I started this whole thing like around like 5:30, and I still haven't been able to go past chapter 3. I'm in chapter 3. The story so far is interesting. Like, I'm finding the concept interesting. I'm finding everything interesting, but like, I can't. Like, I procrastinated for quite some time, so I did procrastinate, I will admit. But, like, the main thing here is that every time I pick it up, I start to fall asleep. I'm not even sleepy, but my brain is shutting off. It got to a point where I was like, like this. What now? I really want to read this. And I just keep falling asleep. I don't know why my brain is shutting off. So I am going to be playing around with some beats. And I'm gonna chill for a little while, and then maybe later I'll grab the book again. I don't know. It's not hitting. I wasn't even remotely sleepy before. God damn it. Yeah, that's the update. I've been struggling. So I did not end up reading anything more yesterday. Okay, I got distracted making some waist beads for myself, which was very cute. I love them so much. So today I'm going to be picking this up. It was a beautiful, beautiful day outside today. Had a lot of fun. But it's turning into a very windy, rainy-ish day, very gray. So I'm just gonna curl up in bed and read a little bit more. I barely read anything, okay? I'm like, yay much, something like that. It barely read anything, so we're going to be doing that now. Also, the naked cover of this It's gorgeous. I love the naked cover of this book, even though I don't love the rest of it as much, but love the naked cover. So can y'all see it? It looks terrible outside, and it was a bright sunny day, beautiful day, and like now it's just, yeah, that's the thing here in Poland. The weather changes like crazy, like from one moment to another, complete difference. So yeah, at least we had a very warm, sunny day. I was able to wear a t-shirt today. It's the first time in so long I've been able to go out with a t-shirt. So very happy about that. But yeah, now it's a rainy day, so we're just gonna do rainy day things, which is lay in bed and read and chill and relax. Okay, y'all, it is late at night and I'm gonna go to bed. I'm really struggling with this book. I'm gonna be honest. I really am struggling with this book. I'm at currently 40%. And I'm just, it's hard. I literally fell asleep. I took a nap. Like, this book is just knocking me out, and it's really frustrating because I'm finding it rather interesting. It's a bit of a slower book. To be fair, at 40%, not much has happened, but we are also going back and forth in time. We're reading present time, we're reading the past at the same time, and, you know, getting to know the characters and the various situations that led them to the present. So yeah, not a lot is going to happen in 50% of the book. I think it is starting to pick up now. But like, and I am finding it interesting, and I do like the characters, but it's knocking me out. Like, my brain is just shutting down. Every time I pick it up, I start yawning, I start getting sleepy. It's really hard for me to stay up and read it. I even started reading it on my Kobo to maybe like make it less uncomfortable and maybe make it like more bearable or I don't know. I was trying, okay? I was trying my best and I just wasn't succeeding. Anyways, I'm gonna throw in a towel for tonight. It's already late. I'm gonna go to sleep and I'll see if I can read a bit more tomorrow. And yeah, that's the update. There's not much to say, okay, because not a lot has happened. Not a lot has caused me to be like, oh my god, right? The only thing is, like, right now at the last chapter I read, like, our female character just got caught and she's being taken to the male character. Yeah. So I think they're gonna meet for the first time in, like, is it 6 months? Yeah. Also, it's weird to say the timing of this book because in parts I feel like it's been years, but then other parts it's just like supposedly been 6 months since the revolution started, and supposedly like only 8 months since the characters met initially. It's weird. And also, like, she makes it seem like they have like made a commitment to each other. I don't know if they were just dating or if they got married or if they got engaged, but supposedly she went against what her mother would want, and like it would cause war if they fell in love with each other and got involved. So I'm not sure exactly what happened, but I feel like they made some sort of commitment somehow. I suspect maybe married, maybe even. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you. But that is also piquing my curiosity. But that combined with like the timeline, it just, I don't know. My theory was that they got married against all odds, but like 2 months? That, I get that like the situation was tough, but 2 months? No, it can't be marriage. It has to be some kind of other kind of commitment. So I'm not really sure what exactly would that commitment be, but I'm really curious about that. And yeah, that's the update. I'm gonna go to bed. See you tomorrow, guys. Okay, y'all, let me give you the TLDR on this book, right? I did end up reading quite a little bit yesterday. Like I told you guys, I was at around 40%. I am currently at 50%. It's the next day. 50%, chapter 22. The thing is, I really don't know how I feel about this book. I'm really curious to see what's happening between the characters and what has happened in the past between the characters. But I'm really struggling. I'm procrastinating a lot. I'm giving up on this a lot. Like, I don't know how I feel about this book. And I just don't know. I just don't know. I'm not connecting to it. Like, to the point where I have considered DNFing it. I don't want to, because I want to know what happens to these characters. I want to know what happens next. But at the same time, I'm just not connecting for some reason. Like, it's really weird because I think it's an interesting story, but maybe the way it's being told, maybe like the amount of like filler is not doing it for me. It's not that I feel like it has a lot of filler, but I don't know, I'm just not connecting to it the way I thought I would be, you know what I mean? We are literally at the point where our two main characters have now met in the present time. They have now met, right? And I was like, oh my god, it's finally there. And it was nothing that I wanted. Like, I guess it was a very realistic way of seeing things, right? But like, I kind of expected them to be like, to at least kiss. At least kiss. I mean, I know they're hurt with each other, but it's been 6 months only. Like, you've seen characters in other books where it's been like 3 years and they kiss, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not long enough for them to say goodbye. I don't know. Like, they hugged, that was cute, but like, that's it. Yeah, and that's it. Like, the story hasn't even advanced that much. Like, they have met, and she's trying to like secure like a peaceful, um, you know, resolution to the war between both factions. But he's like, yeah, that's not possible. We've tried it. It's not gonna happen. Unfortunately, I've been trying, but it's not gonna happen. Because supposedly, like, the big boss of Maris's faction is doing some kind of shifty work on the side, and so she's gonna investigate. But like, we've known about this shifty work for a while, and she has suspected there was more to the story, but she wasn't investigating it. I don't know. I don't know. And in the past, we're just seeing them start to fall in love, basically. Like, they started to get involved and they started to fall in love. But it's very much like you're seeing snippets and then her thinking about the past and thinking about like all that has happened between those snippets. So it's not really like a live recounting of it. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it has all the things that it needs to work, but for some reason this book isn't working for me. But yeah, that is my update. I'm going to keep reading a little bit. I do have stuff to do today, so I'm gonna have to stop reading soon enough. But I'm procrastinating doing all those things, so I'm reading to help procrastinate those things. Um, but I'll keep y'all posted either way. The characters are very interesting, but I don't know much about them. I'm at 50% of the book and I don't know much about each of the characters. Like, you know a little bit, but not that much, right? And it feels like every time we go back in time, I'm expecting to get to learn more about them, get to know more about them, get to like understand them better and stuff. And I just don't. Nothing really comes of it. It gives me context about how their relationship developed between each other, but not really anything about them themselves. And to be fair, it goes back and forth, and it's not adding anything to the story. Like, I would have rather have like a couple chapters detailing their before story than having this like back and forth constantly. Also because like when you go back, like, it's as if the story changes. Like, one time she's thinking about the day that everything went to shit in a way that like, oh, this happened and he gained his little powers or whatever, his blessing from the gods, and then he went away. But then, no, he did what he did, and he killed someone, and he went into jail, and then he was released or something, you know? And then it's like, oh no, he left me, like, he voluntarily left me and chose them and left me and whatever. It's like, girl, decide which one is it, because you're confusing me. Just give me what happened that day, and I will be less confused by these thoughts this way, right? It's just, even the going back in time is just not adding anything to the story and just not adding anything to my knowledge and understanding of the story and of the characters. Also, I realized that like we have a lot of side characters, but I don't give a shit about them. Like, I understand that we're following the main story of two main characters, but there's other characters in the story that I don't give a shit about. And you don't know much about them at all. Like, her uncle and her mom, they're pieces of shit. His uncle, and he's also another piece of shit. His friend and the other dude that supposedly the other two dudes that supposedly fought with him, but you don't know anything about them at all. Like, you barely know anything about them, what they went through, the life they were experiencing before, and that could have been all a lot more in depth. Instead of like repeating the constant same things in the past, we could be seeing like how he got into this military school, how he made his friends, what adventures did they go in together, and see that development instead of always seeing the exact same thing over and over again. I think the concept is cool, the story is cool, the characters are cool, but you don't have, it's a lot more shallow than it should be, and there's a lot of information that like, or a lot of scenes that I would like to see and things that I would find a lot more interesting than what I'm getting. And I'll guess we'll see where this goes, but I don't even see the story being a 4 stars, to be completely honest with you. Again, not because it's bad, but because it's just, first of all, my automatic reaction, like, I think my brain knows before I do that I'm not enjoying something, because me just falling asleep immediately is always a bad sign that a book is not doing great. there are certain circumstances where I can see, no, I have been very tired. That is why I have been falling asleep. That is very different. In this case, I have not been tired. I have been off for 3 days straight, bitch. I'm not tired. Okay, I've been resting, I've been chilling, I've been enjoying my time. So this is definitely a book issue. And my brain doing this over and over and over again every time I pick up the book and me getting bored, because that is the sign that my brain gives me that it's bored, right? My ADHD is like kicking in. It's like, nope, this is boring. And so I start falling asleep. And that is like a big sign to me that the book isn't doing great. And I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt, maybe like, you know, sometimes it just might be my brain, because I couldn't like logically explain why I'm so sleepy with this book, since I am finding the concept interesting. And I think it's because of that. It's because like we're going around in circles and we're at 50%, nothing has happened. Like literally nothing has happened, at least not on screen, you know? Maybe in the background, and then you find out about it on the background, but not on screen, if that makes sense. So I don't know how I feel about it. I don't want to DNF it because I do want to know what happens to them in the end, but I'm really not super motivated to be reading this. So yeah, that's so yeah, those are my thoughts right now, and I'm gonna keep trying and seeing how far I can get with this book. Okay, y'all, don't mind the background. I'm in the kitchen eating, okay? I'm gonna be eating something. Whilst I tell you and update you on the book. So I finished it, and I'm kind of still processing it, to be completely honest with you. And I know I say this a lot, but it really left me baffled. The ending was not what I expected. The characters did not do what I expected them to do. The story took a turn where I was just not seeing it going. I don't know, like all of it was very unexpected. The city got surrounded by a different army from a different land. And they want one of the priestesses for their god blood. The thing is, all the priestesses are dead. Basically, like the main city and the rebel part of the city were surrounded by a different army. And so the rebels attacked the city, they took over the city against Luca's will. Mind you, Luca did not want this. There was a rebel commander that did it without anyone's permission. And so at this point, Maris had also like gone against the city itself, because she realized that her uncle was the one that called this other army so they would take them over. It's like the mentality was basically like, if we can't have the city, neither can you. And it was all in exchange for this priestess. So she doesn't know it's because it's an exchange for the priestess. She just knows that her uncle did it. And so she goes against that, helps the priestess kill herself, because the priestess had been wanting to kill herself for a while. And then she runs. And when she's about to run, that's when the city gets taken over. She runs away, whatever, she hides. Luca finds her. They have sex, because why wouldn't you? After 6 months of barely seeing each other. And Luca asks her to leave with him. Like, we're both going to be leaving. We're both going to be leaving the city. We're both going to go away. Like, we're done. This is done. Enough is enough. And she agrees. Finally, she agrees, because finally he wants to leave, and because finally he seems to have figured it out. And so we also believe this because he's been living with regret this entire time. And he then literally makes his best friend disown her from like the town so that she has to leave. She's like basically removed, her citizenship is revoked and everything, and she has to be like, yeah, she has to leave. And then she joins the army. They're surrounding the town so she can take over the town and go to him. That's how it ends. Like, none of it makes sense. None of it, right? Like, if they had the power to take over the city from the start, why not? Just do it. Also, he was saying, oh, it was to protect Maris because they wanted to kill everyone. Just take the town, hide Maris, and that's about it. Like, the fuck? If you kind of describe the story, not a lot happens in the story. Like, the story doesn't have a lot to go on, you know? Here comes the main question. Am I going to be reading the next one? Because this is the first in a duology. And no, I'm not. Unless, like, from now to the point where that book is published, I've been stuck with this story in my head and I couldn't move past it. I've been wondering and really wondering and really struggling. I'm not gonna do it. I have so many unfinished series that I start because of these random, like, standalone books that that aren't really standalones, you know. I'm not putting another one on the list that I've barely made it through the first book. I really wanted to like the story because I really like the characters. Like, I do stand by my argument earlier where we don't get a lot about the characters. We don't. We do get a little bit more on the second half, but still it's nothing compared to what we usually would get by this point, right? I still was very interested and very curious in like what happened between them. They were married. I clocked it, okay? But like they were married for one day. Like 24 hours before shit hit the fan. So yeah, and even like their love story, it wasn't that is the central part of this whole thing, is like how the lovers are trying to find a way to resolve things so they can get back to each other and can make things work and save each other, basically, in this whole conflict. Yet we get almost nothing of the actual relationship forming. We can see the pain and the thoughts and all like their obsession for each other in the present. We can't really understand how that happened with the past because we are only fed like a few tidbits here and there, and it's nothing of substance. So like it fails us a little bit by not providing us the context to that, the entire context. And I understand that maybe the political part and like the whole turmoil would be the focus, but then you should have put, like, nothing really was the central focus. The side characters and the political allies and all that, none of that was the focus. It was more like him, and her uncle and his schemes a little bit towards the second part, and then a little bit with the other commando, basically, like, that was going wild. Other than that, there wasn't like, but none of this is like very in depth. It's just deeper than the other, but it's still a shallow pool of story. I think I'm rating the Fallen City 3 stars, okay? It's not a 4 stars, and I already knew it wasn't going to be 4 stars. I don't think I can give it a 3.5, so I am giving it a 3. I don't think it's a 2.5 because I did still enjoy it-ish, even if it's just a little. And 2.5 for me is a negative review, like it's negative. 3 is like, it's good, but I'm not going to read it again. You know what I mean? It's like, it's fine, I guess. I'm not reading it ever again or touching it ever again, but it was fine, you know? So for me, it's going to be a 3. And that's it. That was kind of like the thing, okay? I still have quite a few hours ahead of me because even though I should be going to sleep, I have to take some medication later tonight. And I know that if I go to sleep, I'm not going to take it, so I'm going to have to stay up. So I am going to start on the next book. Let me go grab it for you. Okay, so the next book is The Dawn of the Firebird. This is the naked cover of the Fairyloot, okay? It is beautiful. Like, this edition is actually beautiful. Even the inside is gorgeous. Hello. Yes. Hello there. I'm really, really excited to read this one. I do feel like I'm going to like this one a little bit more. Let me read you. I wanted to read you the blurb, but I don't actually have it with me. Let me read. God, I was making sure I had everything ready to read it, but I forgot I needed the blurb. Okay. So, the discarded daughter of an emperor, Camilla Zarzad, is raised with her mother's nomadic tribe until a violent raid ends that peaceful life. Amid the chaos of death, the heavenly magic of Nur awakes within her, granting her the power to wield a cosmic light. Camilla suddenly goes from outsider to weapon, finally accepted into her father's court. But tragedy strikes again, and when her clansmen are defeated by a rival empire, Camilla vows lasting vengeance as she escapes. Hiding her identity, Camilla infiltrates the enemy's army academy. She studies jinn, magic, and martial arts from cutthroat mystic monks in a bid to bring down an empire from within. But through her studies, Camilla begins to question her father's teachings of war and rule. With war escalating across kingdoms and a twisted darkness spreading within her, Camilla is torn between two impossible choices, revenge or freedom. So I'm really interested in this one. This one has me really, really excited. And since I have so much time to kill, I do plan on starting this one. I don't know if I'm going to go straight into reading, but I will be picking this up later tonight. Okay, y'all, I am done for tonight. I have read 8%. Okay, and it might not seem like a lot, but it was really heavy with like history and characters and story and just a lot. It wasn't bad at all, but it was a lot, so it took me a little while. And I'm getting really sleepy and tired. I still have to wait for my medication, but I'm gonna go to sleep. And then I'll just wake up again. I'll set an alarm and I'm gonna pray that I don't miss that alarm because honestly, the probability is very high. but it is what it is. I also realized, like, I'm currently in chapter 1, so every single chapter I read before this was kind of an intro to the before, and I wasn't expecting that, if it makes sense. But I am finding it very interesting so far. I'm liking it, enjoying it, but yeah, that's about it. Not much to say at this point, to be honest. As it was just the intro to the whole thing, so yeah. I'm gonna go to sleep, and I will keep y'all posted when I read more.
Listening to the audiobook whilst working. This dumb cunt, this dumb bitch, literally killed her brother, betrayed her brother, and got her brother killed, and just triggered everything to happen. Like, your brother that has been taking care of you, the only person in this whole family that's actually showing you care and love and appreciation, is the one person you betray. And, like, without even talking to him first, at least go to him first and talk to him first, confront him for anything else. In the end, it was all a trap. In the end, it wasn't even his letter that she used as evidence. Also, the father doing that without even talking to the brother first, like, come on. Like, this dumb cunt. All for the approval of a father that doesn't give a damn about her, that couldn't care less, that has been poisoning her and wanting to poison her and wanting to, like, send her to marry this dude just for political gain. Like, girl. Also, the fact that she keeps, like, destroying her memories so she doesn't have to deal with the grief bothers me so much. It just, yeah, it also keeps her very gullible and childish. Losing my mind. I'm losing my mind here.
Hello, y'all. Long time no see. I have finished the book, and I want to first of all say I'm so sorry. I haven't been updating y'all at all throughout this whole process. I find this happens a lot when I'm not really like super excited with the book. And also the few times I did have reactions, I was either at like public settings or just at work, things like that, and I couldn't exactly record, you know? So that's why like I didn't record much. And then like I wanted to keep reading and to keep finishing the book, and so I ended up not recording much. That's just how the cookie crumbled, basically. Anyways, let me give you the TLDR on this book, okay? So in this book we follow our main character. She's just a child when we first start to follow her story, and her village gets attacked and completely destroyed, decimated, everyone's killed, and her mother survive and make their way into her father's castle, place, whatever, where he has his other family, his other wives, and his other children. And her father doesn't really care about her, but he ends up accepting her and training her in like these poisons so she can be resilient to poisons and stuff like that. She's like being poisoned from a very young age. It's actually ridiculous. And one day, castle gets attacked. People get killed, father dies, the kingdom is basically in ruins by these enemy people, and for the next few years, she basically trains to be able to infiltrate these people that attack the castle and infiltrate their army, and then, you know, possibly destroy them from within, or at least gather some kind of information, something to help her kingdom. And then when she's inside of this army, like, first of all, she suffers like fucking crazy. They do all kinds of bullshit and mistreat her and just like really treat her like garbage. There's a lot of like, it's not technically hazing, but there's a lot of brutality, unnecessarily so. But you know, she makes friends. She starts taking care of these children and teaching them how to fight. She like makes a tiny little life for herself there, always keeping in mind that, you know, her objective is this, and she's very like just hyper focused on this one objective. You know, and then the story kind of goes from there, and she ends up realizing that, you know, her country wasn't as innocent as she thought. Her father was into this type of bullshit. Okay, I feel like that's better. At least in my head, that's better. Anyways, I couldn't connect very well with the character because she's very avoidant, and so like she goes through all of this trauma, and every time she has to like overcome it, instead of overcoming it, she goes in, destroys her memories of this event to the point where she doesn't remember people, she doesn't remember the pain. She doesn't remember what happened. Like, she knows what people told her happened, but she doesn't remember anything in specific. Like, she has completely blank voids in her memory. And then, time passes, whatever, she goes through another thing, she does the exact same bullshit again. And this is her tendency. She just destroys her memories. And this fucks up because you see her start to grow and realize things, and realize, like, oh, this person is a bad person, or oh, this person is this, or whatever. And it's all for nothing because she then forgets important context that led her to realizing these people are this and that. And it's very fucking frustrating. She's also very, like, I don't know, she's very mechanical, very like robot almost, and I just couldn't connect with her. It was frustrating me a lot. Initially I thought it was gonna go okay, but then she started ruining her memories, and then it's like having a very gullible child, because she was a child, making really stupid mistakes, and then she deletes the memories that would help her survive. And it's discoursed as like, oh, this is for survival. It's like, is it though? She was also very like, I will kiss your feet, I will lay down, I'll do whatever it takes to make this thing happen, to complete my mission or whatever. And it's just, it was too extreme, and I just couldn't connect with it. Another point was the magical system and just the way magic works. It's, first of all, very complex, and you can get lost in it really easily. It's a very interesting one, I will say. I do think it was interesting, and it reminded me a little bit of anime, kind of, the way like the magic is connected to your body through strings, and then depending on what you can pull or the connections you have different abilities, all of that. Like, I did find that very interesting, but it got to a point where it's just too much. And even the way the action scenes were depicted with the magic, I do not need to know that it was this formation and this whatever and this multiply. I really don't, because it's just clutter on top of already very action-packed scenes, And I like, again, it was interesting, but at the same time, it bored me after a while, because it was just so complex that every time you thought you caught it, it was adding more and more and more, and it wasn't interesting and interactive enough for me to like care. And I also feel like we didn't see her train her magic. We saw her train and like go through tests about history and politics, and like the political dynamics between the countries and the tribes and everything, a lot more than the magic itself. So like, it got to a point where I just didn't give a shit about it anymore. Like, no. Also, am I supposed to believe that this newbie that barely knows how to use her magic at all is defeating these really, really powerful all-out people just because she has two brain cells rubbed together? To a certain extent, sure, but like, you have two broken like legs and feet or whatever, barely can move, heavily concussed. Like, you're going and you're telling me that you cannot use your magic in a way that we didn't even know you could, because again, we don't get the trainings. I don't know, it just, Another thing was like the magical dark spirit that's always with her, and she never questioned, what is this? Like, how didn't she question initially, right off the bat, this is a djinn? Like, motherfucker, like, even I could tell you it was a djinn. I knew from the first moment I saw it, when you were very, 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 very young. Like, it's actually wild to me. Like, it was so obvious, and she was tapping into something that was not good, and yet she kept tapping into it and tapping into it. It's just, what? Like, come on, girl, come on. She also had a moment where she betrayed her brother, the one person that actually cared for her and treated her well. She just betrayed him without even thinking, because she was too fucking busy trying to suck up to dear daddy's toes. No, I couldn't relate. I couldn't. And I think I would have been able to relate if she, did that, regretted it, and then would be making up for it and trying to be better. But instead, she deleted her memories and just ignored it ever happened, and continued to try to suck up to her dead daddy. Like, I couldn't. I think also the last thing that like kind of was the nail in the coffin for me is the political strategies, like the focus on that. Like, I like fantasy, but think like Aragon, okay? Think Game of Thrones, think The Witcher to a certain extent, but yeah. these very political yet nothing else, very strategic yet nothing else, really, really, really like are not for me. I've come to realize maybe I would have been able to digest them a bit better years ago or at a certain time, different time in my life, but like right now they're just not for me. Unfortunately, I just get bored. It just doesn't entice me. It doesn't make me interested in like, I like a certain level of that, yes, because the books need it, you know, especially fantasy. You oftentimes do need to have that aspect and it makes it interesting, yes. But when that is the main focus, when it's over and over and over and over and over again, it's just too much. I cannot handle it. I get bored. Like my mind shuts off and I just can't. It was not for me. It's not made for me. Sorry. It just is what it is. And this book was definitely not an exception to that. And I think with all of those things together, like, I do see the potential in it. I do see how it can be interesting, but I don't think it was a match for me. Like, I do understand why someone that does like those types of things would say yes to this and would say like, oh, it's a 4-star or 4.5, whatever. I'd have to rate this book a 3.5. Genuinely, I'd have to rate it a 3.5. It's just the reality of things. It just is. But you know, win some, lose some. I guess I just have to choose them a little bit better. And this also is making me a little bit scared to try the Poppy War, because I feel like the Poppy War is a lot like this. Similarly, like, you know, Red Rising also has a lot of this. Depends on which book, but like also has a lot of this. And it was also not doing it for me. And I think that's what ruined the series to me. Not that I feel like it's 100% ruined. I don't hate it. I don't dislike it. But I also didn't fall in love head over heels with it because of that. And I fear that this is something that, like, when it's too much of a focus in this, I just don't connect with it very well. I will also add, at the, like, towards the end of the story, we get like the experiments that people are doing and all of it, and just how I got so lost at that point. I was like, where are we going then? Like, what is the end goal here? Because she can't seem to decide what she wants to do next. And then until randomly she's just like, yeah, no, I'm gonna defect and attack my own country. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it was very like, okay, I was a bit like, it makes sense when you take on the rest of the context, but still, like, felt very out of the blue because you don't have contact with that at all, right? And the ending with the heaven or God or whatever it was, with the Noah's Ark type monsoon, it's just, you know, like, it was, I don't know, it was too much for me. It was just not, you know, no. Also the open end where there's definitely gonna be a second book. I'm probably not gonna read it. Very unlikely that I'll read it. But yeah, like, that was it. I don't have an overall perfect opinion of this book, but you know, it just happens. It's just not for me. I don't, like I said, I understand how it can be for other people. It's just not what I would prefer to read. So it's just a matter of preference. And that's about it. This also concludes our actual vlog, guys. Like, this is done. This is it. Like, we are done. I've read all of the books I had here for my Fairyloot adult book box thing. It's been a wild ride. Okay, I honestly can't even tell you if it was better or worse compared to the YA vlog. I guess you'll have to watch it to know. You see what I did there? You did? Yeah, I know. I'm amazing, I know. But yeah, like, I really have been enjoying this a lot. Like, just, you know, compiling all of the Fairyloot and just dedicating time to specifically to the Fairyloot books. It's been very interesting and I've been having a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. And I will be seeing you guys in a next video next week, in the future, wherever that might be. Okay.